Okay, here we have a 4.5 pound whole chicken. Now we do this about every week with various size birds. This just happened to be a 4.5 pounder that we pulled out of the freezer. So we got this kind of medium small Dutch oven. Just pick your Dutch oven to fit your pot. Now you can use any type of rubs or seasonings, whatever you would like. For this one, I'm gonna use just salt and pepper. So I'm gonna give it a good dose of salt and pepper. Now what I'm gonna do now is kind of just rub this around, make sure I get the other side as well. Get the wings, get the back. A lot of good meat on the back once you pick it apart. So after this bakes in the oven, we might let it cool in the fridge overnight, but then what we'll do is we'll pick all of the boneless meat off the parts we didn't eat in the first meal. So now I've got it pretty well rubbed up. I'm gonna take a whole onion. You could use an apple or get creative with that. Put that in the cavity. I'm gonna take chunks of garlic. Fresh garlic, I'm gonna stick it in about every cavity I can get it. And this is a couple of different cloves that I've cut into quarters. That's gonna give it a good flavor. And this is ready to go, simple as that. So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna cook it tonight, but we're gonna cook it tomorrow. We've found it takes anywhere from about 1.5 to 2 hours on a 400-degree oven. You would cover this, preheat your oven, cover this, put it in the oven for 1.5 or 2 hours, check it to temp, and you can go anywhere from the minimum 165 all the way up to, we've had it taste really good, all the way up to internal temp of 200. So you just gotta find what works best for you. Obviously the bigger the bird, the longer it's gonna take. The smaller the bird, the less it's gonna take. So we eat one meal off of this right out of the oven. We love the thighs and the wings. And then usually we're picking apart the rest for other meals. It might be soups, it might be shredded chicken wraps, it might be a million other things you can make with boneless chicken. And we find that when we cook it in a Dutch oven, it's very rarely ever dry. You could add root vegetables to this as well, potatoes, any type of root vegetables. And then there's a nice broth down at the bottom you could use to spread over your potatoes or root vegetables that go along with it. Okay, so the chicken's been in this Dutch oven, at 400 degrees for just less than 2 hours. And this was a 4.5 pound bird. A lot of times what you can see is the skin pulling away from the legs. This one's definitely not overdone by any means, but we're gonna temp check it here. Of course, 165 is technically done, but we found that you really can't overdo it with these. We've had birds up to in the 200, low 200s, like there you go, thigh meat 203, and they're still really juicy and tender. So this bird is ready to pick or just eat however you'd like. Carve it like a Thanksgiving turkey, pick it, and the leftovers will be great in any deboned chicken recipe.